Hebrews 5, 8 and 9. Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things that he suffered. And having been perfected, he became the author of eternal salvation to those who obey him. I want you to reflect upon these words carefully. You see, it's possible in today's world for a son to be born to an influential person, a powerful person, a wealthy person, and to bypass all the rigors of life, to be promoted, to be crowned, to be given businesses, company, wealth, and property, but they didn't physically earn it. Sometimes we call that someone born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Consider Christ. If there was ever someone who was worthy to be crowned, it was him. But did you know he chose not to do that? Though he was the Son of God, he chose to go through the difficult path. He chose to live like we live, to suffer like we suffer. He knows what you're feeling right now. He's felt it. So consider that although Jesus had the right to be crowned, he suffered for us and then became the author of eternal salvation to those who obey him. So since Jesus had to suffer, since the Son of God had to go through all those rigors, what about you? Do you believe somehow God is going to make an exception for you? My friend, listen carefully. He didn't make an exception for the Son of God. Jesus still had to go through all the trials. He had to make those difficult choices. I'm not sure what it is that's hindering you from obeying the gospel. Maybe it's family pressure. Well, Jesus experienced family pressure. Did you realize that during his life, some of his brothers did not even believe? Maybe it's friends. I realize that sometimes making changes is difficult, but Jesus made the changes needed to obey the Father. So who's going to be saved? Well, according to this verse, Jesus will save those who obey him. Just because you're a good person doesn't mean you're going to heaven. You've got to obey Jesus. You've got to do what the Father has said. Now, this is a time for application, and I want you to consider it very carefully. We want you to go to heaven. God wants you to go to heaven. Jesus, he suffered and died so you could go to heaven. Are you ready to obey Jesus' command to be baptized? If you need help in finding the Lord's church and or someone to help you in being baptized, or if you have any questions regarding what you've just learned, please contact the person or congregation who referred you to this video. If you need help, you can submit your email questions to help@wvbs.org. Thank you for listening.